Hello, everybody, and welcome to Losercast. This name is not final. It's actually now called Friendcast. This is Oliver from the future telling you it's now called Friendcast. Back to the show. And today, we're going to be taking you on a wild and crazy trip through the Mushroom Kingdom as you learn to trust the fungus, use tools, and...
What did Mario say about not letting your friends down and keep them by your side?
Always put your friends first. And today we're going to be talking about Super Mario Bros. The movie from 1993. And we just watched this fresh off the presses. We can pretty clearly remember most of the things that happened in it.
And we can pretty clearly say it was better than the Sonic movie.
It was better than the Sonic movie. I mean, given most movies are better than the Sonic movie. It has its fans, but we are not three of them. So, I am Oliver.
I am Reagan.
And I'm Zach.
And we are going to talk about this movie. Now, we watch video game movies, some of them.
Yeah.
We don't really like any of them. But
The Wizard was like... It was
okay.
It was something, but it wasn't like as interesting as this one.
We're not the first to say it. You might have heard this before, but the Super Mario Brothers live-action movie is not that bad. It is actually, in my opinion, pretty good.
It's very entertaining. Usually when I go into bad or quote bad movies like this, I'm like, oh, we should embrace it. We should make fun of it. But this movie, I came out. It was genuinely enjoyable. There were some parts where it's just like kind of easy to make fun of, but it was. Other than that, it was just a fun movie. Even Shigeru Miyamoto, the man behind all the Mario games, has to say like his biggest problem is that it's just a little too close to the games.
I think that if this wasn't a Mario movie, it would be like popular along the level of like maybe not the Goonies, but like another movie of that style. Not a Blade Runner, but like a pretty
like a Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Maybe not to that extent, but like those Adventures in Babysitting, like sort of like mid-tier '80s movie that people will remember fondly, even though this was the '90s. But I think if it didn't have the Mario name attached to it, and if Mario products weren't so consistently good, this might be more well-known and more successful than it was.
Well, this is pretty well-known, but it's for the reason
True.
Like it's bad.
But for the wrong reasons. I thought the weakest parts for me were the characters. Like, Mario and Luigi aren't much of a presence in this movie at all.
Yeah, as they would be. Like, everyone can tell you, like, Luigi's, like, traits or Mario's traits. And, in this movie, granted you're giving them, I mean, they've had a voice, like, for a long time now. Before this movie, or after this movie was made, but this time they're, like, speaking English, unlike, in the Mario games. So that kind of takes away from that. In
Princess Daisy, as she's called, not
weird
much...
inclusion.
Yeah.
That's not Peach. Even though, I mean, I get that the Game Boy games where she is, the princess you save, came out around this time. Even though the most recent one was the one where Wario was the villain. This came out in 1992.
She's sort of a non-entity, I would say, in this movie. Really. Star of the show. Gotta be Bowser or King Koopa.
Yeah, as he was called.
He played by Dennis Hopper, who I like as an actor.
I think this Bowser, I know that he gets a lot of flack because he's like an old man rather than like a turtle, but something about his performance was just so enjoyable. It wasn't like
he was fun. He was he did. I thought he hammed it up. He was a crazy man in this movie, and he was an entertaining villain to watch.
Yeah, like when he was pointing the gun at a TV, like threatening, making threats. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, it was a interesting performance.
My personal favorite part from him, there was this random 20-second scene where he just orders pizza and then it cuts.
Yeah, he ordered a pizza. He was just like the scenes with him just like doing stuff.
I'd argue that this Bowser is more interesting than the Bowser we have in games now. Where now he's just like kind of like a bully, like he roars a lot. But this one he's like this is not like some super complex character, but he's just fun to watch because the acting and whatnot.
Yeah, and I would like to say, I mean, the special effects in this movie were not amazing, but they were pretty good. I think the best part was like the set design.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yes,
the city that they're in. A lot of people have said it's like sort of like Blade Runner, which I agree with. I think the same production designer did both of the movies.
In this movie, it's the Mushroom Kingdom.
I mean, there's stuff that's in both of them, but like.
It is fun to point out.
It's that's one of the most fun parts is pointing out the similarities.
Or like saying like, oh, haha, this is a Shy Guy.
Mm-hmm. It's like, how do you make a movie out of the Mario games? Like, there's not much there. So really, this is the best opportunity they could have taken, is just go in a completely weird, crazy
Especially
direction.
when you're doing it live action. If you're doing an animated Mario Brothers movie, you can. That's not gonna like up the amount of stuff, like the amount of content the games have to make like a story. Like Miyamoto has even said recently that like he doesn't focus on huge stories that like focus on like really deep themes, but he was the one who came up with the whole like idea of like saving a princess. So there's not, even if you did it animated, yeah, you'd have more to pull from just because like Mario games, but this was already like limited to live action, and I think they did a good job with this world in live action. How it's just like New York, but then there's like the alternate universe Mushroom Kingdom.
And you got some cool world building stuff. You can see all of his campaign posters in the background. You got all this gross slime everywhere, which is disgusting.
The goop was disgusting.
Yeah.
But,
Although it did let them actually call it the Mushroom Kingdom, because apparently it's supposed to be fungus.
True. There's fungus everywhere.
The reason that there's all this random fungus everywhere is because like Bowser has this weird de-evolution machine. So all the people in this place, I think it's called like Dino Haddon or something on Wikipedia. They descended from dinosaurs. So when he puts them in the machine, they turn back into like dinosaurs from the past, and eventually into slime. So that's what he did to the old king. And throughout the entire movie, the slime is basically the main plot device, and it'll help him out in situations. It'll give him stuff like bob-ombs or mushrooms.
Yeah, it's essentially like it just does whatever the plot needs it to do. So at one point they use it to swing, so I guess it's adhesive. Another point they use it to jump, so it's bouncy. They use it for all sorts of different things.
Spawns in bombs for them.
Yeah.
So it's
I didn't really get that, but I guess it kind of made sense.
It's like a magical plot device. Paying attention to the story in a movie like this is not gonna do you well, I don't think. But anyway, go on about the king.
So the king, he got turned into slime. So all the slime leads back to this one central room, and there's this throne, and it's like hanging from the ceiling. There's this massive, gross, pulsating pile of slime. And whenever somebody enters the room, this strange, vaguely humanoid figure draped in this like cloak of gross, like really weird stuff, lowers down and starts dripping fluid and liquid everywhere. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in a movie.
The noises.
Yeah, the noises are, oh my god, they're terrible.
And that's, I think that was kind of the intention, like, also,
this is a disgusting movie.
Yeah, it is a gross movie, and
we were like having snacks, and the very first scene is like a baby being born out of an egg. Who is that even supposed to be?
That's
Daisy.
Because she's one of the lizard people, and that's how they're born.
Well, anyways, they do that, and there's like this like slime on the stomach of the baby.
Like,
we could not even.
It's gross. It's really gross, and I get that's kind of the point, but I cannot imagine being like 7 when this movie came out, or even like younger than that.
It says dazzling special or eye-popping special effects.
They are pretty eye-popping on the back of the
eyes
DVD case.
Bursted open when I saw that slime.
Speaking of DVD cases, you can't find this movie on streaming. So although I think all 3 of us would probably say, yeah, you could probably watch it. It's fun.
Good luck.
Good luck trying to find it. I was able to happen upon this DVD copy at a Half Price Books like months ago, and So, yeah, and the DVD itself is like pretty bare bones. There's not even other languages for the subtitles besides English. And
the DVD menu.
The DVD menu itself just plays like the Mario theme.
Yeah, but it's like a MIDI.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound like a
different.
chiptune NES thing. It's like there's like some slight echo to it.
Yeah, it's very weird.
And then they're just like blocks with like oh, maybe it's supposed to be like the bricks from like Mario, but
yes, but
at those times when this movie was released, bricks were like obsolete in Mario games.
But yeah, it's a hard movie to find. I assume it's not on streaming because Nintendo doesn't want people to see it. They're notoriously sort of stingy about
everything.
Yeah, about everything. That is a good point. They only recently made. This was the last movie they made with their characters in it until 2018 when Detective Pikachu came out, which I have not seen. And now they're making another Mario Bros. Movie with Illumination.
Of all people.
Yeah, I would trust them with our age-old IP that has succeeded almost everywhere. He's made it. Mario has been on. He's made it to 3D way back in the 90s. He's on mobile phones now.
But yeah, and so they're pretty stingy about this movie, and it's not on streaming. You can't even get a Blu-ray release, except unless you're in the UK or Japan. So yeah, I was pretty lucky to find this DVD. But anyway, so also speaking of special effects, I find it really interesting how this movie interprets the actual characters of Mario. Not just Mario and Luigi, and not just Princess Daisy, but there's also the Goombas, and
pretty infamous.
They look
I remember
creepy.
The way I learned about this movie was through like the Goomba design.
I think it looks kind of good. Like, it's sort of a weird that it has such a small head. Like, yeah. I don't really know if that was on purpose or if it was like they did something wrong when they were.
It's kind of like that one character.
If you want to watch a Mario,
yeah.
movie,
the shrunken head guy.
If you want to watch a Mario movie where anything but the human characters from the Mario games are turned into like disgusting, horrific monsters, then this is the movie.
It's like watching somebody who played the first Mario game and then they had a terrible dream that night. So, and then you also have Yoshi's in this movie.
He just
not
looks like a
really.
Park
Mario never rides him.
He's just kind of there, to be honest.
He doesn't really do anything.
He uses his tongue at one point.
Yeah,
literally the only species that are in the movie are dinosaurs and Goombas. That's it.
Yeah,
and the bombs are not even like living.
The bombs are like,
they're just like items.
And bullet bills and stuff are like actually thrown stuff. They're not enemies. And then there's apparently there's a character in this movie who is supposed to be Big Bertha, which is a fish from the Mario games. Like, I don't know whose idea that was, but yeah, that's a weird scene.
Yeah, there's some really awkward scenes.
Big Bertha, for those that don't know, it's the fish in Mario 3 that will jump out and eat you whole.
But for me, the worst, I think, I like the Goomba interpretation. You know, if you aren't too much of a stickler for being super close to the games, I think the Goomba and the Yoshi and the Koopalings they look fine. They're like kind of cool looking. Sorry, we're recording this outside because we don't want to be inside. Don't want to catch COVID and stuff. So there will be dogs barking in the background. Anyway, the worst part for me was probably Toad. He's just a dude.
Yeah, he's just a dude who gets like they say like, oh, you're going to jail, Toad, and I'm just imagining like a Mario game where the police roll up and take Toad in, and they turn
Toad
him
is
into
like
Goomba.
this folk singer guy, and he has a guitar and a harmonica.
A horrible looking.
Yeah, his hair is terrible. He's played by a guy named Mojo Nixon, not his real name, I hope. So to me, it's like the elements that are not from Mario, or that are so divorced from the original Mario concept, like Koopa being this guy. Those are the best parts of the movie.
He does become a dinosaur.
He does become a dinosaur at the end. Yeah.
And then he turns someone into a monkey?
He turns people into monkeys. Forgot about that.
There's your Donkey Kong.
Yeah, there's a little chimp. That was pretty. They vaporized the Twin Towers, which
Yeah, that was
did not
pretty,
really age
First,
well.
sure, that's the reason why you can't watch this movie anymore, because Nintendo doesn't want to be attached to the imagery of the Twin Towers.
Oh, well, my favorite part of the movie, I don't know about you guys, was King Koopa has this random girl that he's with a lot, and
Lena,
yeah, something like that.
Completely related to Mario.
There's a scene where, at the very end, I guess spoilers.
Spoilers ahead. Don't listen if you don't want to be spoiled for this terrible movie.
Spoiler for this movie that is unavailable almost everywhere.
Unless, well, I mean, hey, some people watching this, listening or watching to this, I mean, you might know me. You may see me in the hallways of school. If you ever want my copy of the Mario Bros. Movie, just ask. I can give it to you. I'm not super protective.
We'll hook you up with the copy of a Nintendo movie.
We'll give it back, though. We may want to revisit it sometime. But yeah, sure. You know, if you want my copy, just you know, say, hey, I'd like this movie. But anyway, she touches the key or amulet or some kind of crystal
gem,
the famous gem, and she touches it, and she gets electrocuted, and she turns into a literal skeleton with just a skeleton that's on the wall with like crazy like Bride of Frankenstein hair, and then Luigi comes in. And Daisy's like, yowza, or something like that. And then it cuts to the skeleton, and it opens its mouth, and it goes, eh. And so
I like that
they just had to include that little detail that the skeleton woman opens her mouth and lets out a death scream or something.
I like the setup for a sequel.
There is a setup.
I can't wait for that to come out.
Can't wait for it to come out.
What do you think the sequel would be like? I feel like Wario would be the villain because he was really big at the time when
Yeah,
this
because
released.
2 golden coins just came out at the time this movie came around.
2 golden coins?
6 golden coins.
That would be a pretty unimpressive Mario game.
It's a really short game.
But anyway, yeah, for whatever reason, I mean, Wario was like the villain of that game, but like after that he got so many like of his own games. There were,
yeah,
like,
you're probably right. Wario would probably be the
Wario
villain.
was just super popular at the time. I think he would be the main.
Yeah, I mean there is a sequel hook.
And then there's a post-credit scene.
There's a post-credit scene. They predicted ahead of its time.
I feel like even nowadays, like, you know, just because of like Marvel movies, like people stay for the post-credits of any movie, regardless if it's like an MCU film. Do you think people would like know about?
Wait, didn't we stay for the end credits of the Sonic movie? Because we thought there was gonna be
And
there wasn't one. There was a mid-credit scene with Tails.
Where they spoil it.
No. She says, "Yo, guys. We're having a problem with this guy called Ganondorf. Mind if you guys help us out?"
Yeah, they set up a Nintendo cinematic.
They set up the NCU.
Oh.
Yeah, we could get a Zelda movie.
Everyone's like, I want a Metroid movie.
Metroid movie would be. Well, I would watch a I mean, basically, you could just watch like Aliens. That's pretty Metroid-y. You could have a Kirby movie.
Oh.
That would be pretty good.
That'd be like a stop motion movie with no talking, kind of like the
Shaun the Sheep.
movie.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
What are some other
What else is there?
F-Zero. It would just be like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, the entire movie is just one gigantic
it's just one
action
giant
scene.
race.
Yeah, it's like Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, that would be
in
awesome!
cars.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Star Fox. You could do a Star Fox movie.
Yeah.
Pikmin.
Pikmin. That'd be a really weird movie too.
A Dr. Kawashima movie. That would be really
What
good.
is that?
The Brain Age guy.
Yeah, the Brain Age.
Oh.
So that'd just be like a children's educational
really
movie.
Digging deep
Yeah.
into the barrel.
Donkey Kong.
They run out of ideas. They start doing like one-off like NES games like Clue Land or something. You have like those generic black box NES games that are like soccer and karate and stuff like that.
I can't wait for the Fire Emblem movie.
Oh.
That might actually be pretty good.
I mean,
and then you put them all together. The Avengers of this NCU would be a Smash Brothers movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen people like design, like, you know how the Marvel movies have like phases.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have done that for Nintendo, where it's like Nintendo Phase 1. Here's a Mario movie.
So yeah, I mean, the Mario movie, we watched it. It's 103 minutes long. Probably a little too long for a Mario movie.
It's not the movie that I've watched recently that I complain about how long it is. That Wonder Woman movie.
How long was that?
2 hours.
It was 2 hours and 43 minutes. And it was
Oh,
2 hours.
jeez.
It was 2 hours and 43 minutes too long. Is what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Like, better, way better than I thought it was going to be. Maybe I just went in with such low expectations.
Yeah,
but
the movie's kind of a meme right now.
But I was pleasantly surprised. I think if you have an interest in it, go ahead and watch it. You know, despite how bad reviews it got, it's not all that bad. If you just, go into it with the mindset that you're not watching a Mario movie, hey, you might enjoy it.
Yeah, you
and
gotta keep your expectations low, very low.
if I could give
to help with that, this movie is really bad. Keep your expectations low.
it sucks.
It's a bad
terrible. It's terrible. It sucks.
Oh,
hate it.
it's a disgrace on the Mario franchise.
Worse than Sonic movie.
But if I were to, in all honesty, if I were to give this out of 10, I think I might give this
What's our rating system gonna be?
5 out of okay, we do 10.
5 out of 10 bombs.
No,
For this movie,
no,
because-
we got to keep it consistent.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. We don't really have a gimmick for this. It's just 3 guys talking. So
Backyard.
we'll say I would give it 5.5 backyards out of 10.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. So about a block, not necessarily a whole neighborhood,
Yeah.
just a block, a stretch of
This is a
street.
block movie.
It's a real block, literally.
Oh, yeah.
blockbuster.
Block movie.
But it's also, it literally is a blockbuster because they're busting.
Yeah, they're breaking
blocks.
blocks like in Mario.